Simple habits to build master plan for fluency. How is it possible that just simple habits can prepare a master plan for yourself to speak English fluently? But before discussing simple habits which are so important, significant, mandatory for your fluency in English level, and it can build up your master plan. How is it possible? I am going to illustrate. But before that, you have to do one thing. The most important thing to do anything, to initiate any process, and that thing is to get rid of stuckness with the past. Yes, my dear audience, you have to avoid this stuckness with the past. If you are still stuck with your past, the last time you have forgotten the words, the last time you were humiliated because of the blankness of your mind in English language, the time when you felt hesitated, when you felt ashamed and annoyed, irritated because of the inefficiency or insufficiency of language, you have to get rid of all those negative moments. Why you are not fluent in English, my dear audience? Why you are not still fluent in English despite spending so much time, so many years in your college and at your school or at your college level? Why still you are searching for the videos for fluency in English language? Why you are still stuck with your beginning or with your intermediate level? What is the reason? The reason is that you are stuck with your past. You are stuck with your bad memories. You are stuck with your bad experiences in English language. That's why you are not moving ahead. These stuckness with your past bad experiences, bad memories are just like the shackles which are enchaining you, to get rid of, to step forward, to proceed forward. So the very first step, if you really want to build a master plan upon these simple habits, and what are those simple habits, I am going to illustrate one by one, and at the end of this video you will come to know, and rather you will acknowledge that these simple habits I have to inculcate in myself. These simple habits I have to do in myself. I have to follow these simple habits so that I can build up a master plan which can assist me to get fluency in English language, because after all, English is just a language. So the very first thing you have to do is to remove your stuckness with your past. Just live with your present, because past which has been spent, which is not at present moment, cannot be back, cannot be returned, cannot be done as a good thing. So what is the good to be living with your past? Just get rid of your past, first thing. And let me know in the comment section that are you ready to get rid of your stuckness with the past, because this is the biggest hurdle. Let it be very clear, this is the biggest hurdle. Why you are not taking initiative, why you are not stepping forward to have a successful conversation with anyone? Why you are not initiating any conversation with anyone? Why you are still or is the victim of hesitation? Why you are still shivering before going into any meeting, any presentation? The reason is that your stuckness with the past. Your stuckness with the past, that is still hankering, that is still running in your mind, in your subconscious, in your memory, and that is reminding you that you should not do this. You know the past bad experience, you know the time when you forgot the word. Your subconscious, your mind is reminding you all these bad experiences. So tell your brain, tell your subconscious that that was my past. Now I have gained a lot of knowledge, I have gained a lot of vocabularies, I have done my effort best. Now it's the time to excel for me. It's the time for me to prove my strength. I can do this now. That was the thing of past. That is no more at present moment. I have to prove my present moment at the best moment. This is what I have to do. So the very first thing you have to give hint to your mind that it's your present, and present is your possession. Past is not your possession. So whatever is not your possession, you should not stuck with that. Hold your present moment. Proves your present moment as the victorious moment. So the second thing, very important thing. Now first thing, don't stuck with your past. Second important thing, before discussing the powerful 5 simple habits to build the master plan. In fact, these 5 habits are a master plan for your fluency, because if you can build these 5 habits, in fact you are building your master plan. And if you are successful in building your master plan, you can be a successful speaker. That's all. So the very second thing, the second important thing is that you should know your level of English. Now what I mean by level of English, sometimes you belong to an intermediate level, but still you are reading the childish books, you are reading the kids stories, you know all the vocabularies, but still you are stick to English cartoons. English cartoons are important, kids books, stories books are important. But if you understand all these and you are still with them, it means that you are wasting your time. You have to move forward, but you are stuck with your past. The very first thing is you should know your level, that you are not a beginner. You know, you understand each and everything. In fact, the vocabulary, sentence patterns, sentence structures, expressions, and even the slangs used in storybooks. So if you know the 80 to 85% of storybooks, it means that you don't belong to an beginner level. You belong to intermediate level. Now what is the criteria for intermediate level? If you understand English movies, speeches, their expressions from 70 to 75%, it means that you are an intermediate person. You know the expressions and slang used by those native speakers. And if you understand newspaper, highly refined articles, editorials of news, the Dawn, any standard English newspaper, magazine, then congratulations to you that you belong to an advanced level. Now you should prepare yourself to move forward, because you don't belong to an intermediate level, you don't belong to a beginner level, rather you are an advanced learner. So the very first thing is to decide, because sometimes English learners are not deciding to which category they belong, and they are still stucking, or they are still engrossing themselves with the beginner level or an intermediate level. They know each and everything and they are just wasting their time. So these are the 2 things you have to do. And if you are ready, we are going to discuss a master plan, and that master plan is built on these simple habits. It's really amazing. It's really a unique concept, because we are discussing different activities based on master plan, but we are not focusing and we are not integrating. We are not integrating simple habits and master plan. If we can integrate simple habits and master plan, you can really achieve your targets, because simple habits are very important. So what is important? Number one thing is vocabulary, gain vocabulary. But no, sometimes online classes, teachers provide you a long list of vocabularies. You learn, you memorize, you learn them by heart. But what is their usage? What is the exact context in which they should be used? You don't know. In which situation you don't know. What is their connotation? Positive connotation or negative connotation? It means that either these words refer to negative emotions or negative things, or these words denote to the positive things. We don't know. We just have crammed. We just have crammed the vocabulary. So if you are just cramming the vocabulary without context, without situation, you are learning vocabulary separately, without reading, without listening, without any context, then my dear audience, you are on the wrong track. So you have to do it with some reading, with some listening. So my next habit is to develop your reading skills. Reading is very, very, very important. How it is important? Because if you are separately learning any vocabulary, it is of no use. Have you ever visualized, have you ever analyzed a viewer, an English learner who has learned the vocabulary like global warming, climate change, atmospheric conditions, like all these vocabularies he has learnt, how he can utilize? He don't know, or he does not know how to use them. How to use them, in which context? The most important thing is the context, the situation. So the knowledge of context, the knowledge of situation comes with your reading. It's an established reality. So build the habit of reading, and I recommend in each and every video of mine, rather I am a strong advocate of reading newspaper, articles and editorials. Why? Because they give you up-to-date vocabulary. Up-to-date vocabulary can only be achieved by reading newspaper. And how these words should be used in the right context, in the right situation. Don't worry, don't be perplexed if at first glance, at first sight, you don't understand newspaper. Believe me, after 20 to 22 days, you will come to know that this newspaper I can understand, I can read, I can summarize in my own words. Third simple habit is to listen. You have to develop your listening skills. Why listening skills? Sometimes when you are reading, you do not get the right idea of pronunciation, how to pronounce the words, because some letters are kept silent, some letters are stressed. What is intonation? Intonation is the rise and fall of pitch during your speech. When you want to stress something, when you give the importance of something, you want. So listening is important to build your intonation. What is intonation? The rise and fall of your speech. Because in every language, some letters are kept silent, some letters are pronounced, some letters are stressed, some letters are unstressed. How to get this knowledge? So the only medium is to get listening, is to get habitual of listening. And I strongly recommend that if you can listen and watch together. How is it possible? You can listen the speeches, native English speakers' speeches, podcast, and the best thing is to watch the movies and to listen the accent. And by listening and by watching, you will come across and you will get the idea how these words are used in natural context situation. You will not have to bother about what context is right for this word and which situation is incorrect for this situation, for this word. So all these things can be done only through reading, and second with listening and watching. Now the road is prepared, the road is planned for your speaking skills. because ultimate goal is to speak. So speak. If you say that, ma'am, I don't have the content, I don't have information and knowledge to convey, how can I find the topics? So my dear audience, what you are supposed to do when you are reading the newspaper on the daily basis, you are getting the information, ideas, knowledge every day. You get up-to-date vocabulary in the right context, because newspaper is the only source to provide you the right context, the right information. So this is very much important. Next thing is to speak, is to assume the role of newscaster and summarize in your own word what you have read recently in editorials and in articles. So because I am a strong advocate of reading newspaper, it is multitasking factor. It boosts up your vocabulary, it boosts up your reading skills, and it provides you, it equips you to get prepared for any interview, any exams, any competitive exam. This is the benefit of reading. You get general knowledge, current affair knowledge, what's happening in your locality, what's happening in your country, what's happening in the world at large. You come across each and everything. So the next point is two things. One thing is assessment, and second thing is stop translation process from the very start, from the very beginning. Why? Because once you get habituated to translation process, it's get difficult for you to get rid of this, because translation consumes a lot of time, a lot of energy of yours. You get engrossed in your own thoughts, and the connection and the relationship with the speaker disconnects, and he does not get any kind of interest in your speech. You are mentally absent. Though physically you are present in the conversation, in the meeting, in presentation, but mentally you are busy with your own translation. So this is the disadvantage of translation. So get rid of translation from the very start. Don't get habituated to this translation process. Number second thing you have to do is your assessment on daily, on hourly basis. At the end of every day, what you are supposed to do, you have to do your assessment. Why assessment and how assessment, negative and positive, is beneficial for you. If you are not doing any kind of improvement, if you are not taking any kind of steps, if you are doing your gaps, if you are not reading on regular basis, your assessment is just like a warning for you. It is just like a reminder for you that you are not performing well. How can you materialize your dream? If you get your dreams fulfilled, you have to be consistent. You have to do your simple habits to build a master plan for your fluency. If you are doing your level best, then this assessment is just like an encouragement for you. It's just like a boosting factor for you. It's just like a praise for yourself, victorious moment. At the end of the day, if you are doing your level best, this assessment is just like a victorious, is like a moment of celebration for you, that you are doing your level best, and one day you will achieve your target. I am near my target, I am near my goal. It's the time to celebrate. So these are all the tips, and because if you develop these habits, in fact you are building your master plan. If you become successful in building your master plan, you are getting your dreams fulfilled. And nowadays I am getting a lot of comments that, ma'am, how can we contact with you? So my answer is that at present I am not having any kind of meeting or any kind of conversation through Skype or any other media with my viewers. So the best thing for you is, if you have any queries, any questions, you can post me in comment section, and I am regularly reading the comments and answering them. So with this positive note, I end this video, and in near future I will have classes online classes and many other things with you guys. So stay tuned with Gulknowledgehub and like, share and subscribe the channel and hit that bell icon because it motivates me to make much more informative videos for you guys. If you like my content, then like, share and subscribe the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you can't miss and you don't miss any kind of new updated video which I post on Gulknowledgehub. With this positive note, I end this video. Till the next video, stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.